Hello, what is up, all of you beautiful subscribers? Welcome back to the Jack Chapple Show. So we have a new richest person on this planet. So we're going to be talking about that along with our normal business news, stock market news, some big Facebook news and Twitter news. We're going to get to that in a second here. But today is going to be a little bit more of an honorary episode to the newest, richest person on this planet. So what I thought would be interesting here is going back to the 2011 richest people, the world billionaire list, and seeing who the richest people were there, and then kind of letting you guess who the richest person in the world is today. Okay, so number one, in 2011, we had Carlos Slim, net worth 74 billion, Bill Gates 56 billion, Warren Buffett 50 billion at number three. Bernard Arnault, I don't know who that is actually, French person, net worth 41 billion, Larry Ellison 39 billion. So just dropping down here, the list of the top 10 here, do you think that any of these people are the richest person in 2015? Do you think about that? Think about it. Just give a second here. Okay, so what we're going to do actually is go to the 2017 list here, so the 27 ranking. So these were the richest people on the planet, I think as of March 2017 or January 2017. So here you have Bill Gates again, Warren Buffett shows up again, Amancio Ortega, who owns Zara, Zuckerberg, number 5, so he's climbed up here, Bezos, number 3, Larry Ellison, number 7, we got the Koch brothers at number 8 and 9, Michael Bloomberg at number 10. So do you think that any of these people are the richest person on the planet? I'll give you a second here. Well, one of them actually is. One of them, well, actually what's kind of funny, so Jeff Bezos is officially or unofficially the richest person on this planet, or was for at least a few minutes today. And so what happened was, because he's such a large owner of Amazon, he owns 17% of the company. The stock shot up today another 2%, which meant that he gained a couple $1 billion today, and then it shot down 1%. So he was the richest person on the planet for just a couple minutes today. He still probably is going to be, and still is. But Bill Gates, number one technically this very second, but Bezos today eclipsed Bill Gates as the richest person. So for those of you that don't know or aren't looking at the screen here, I know a lot of you are actually listening in podcast form right now, which is really cool. Podcast has been taken off, so thank you for that. Jeff Bezos' net worth is $88.4 billion, and at one point today was about $90 billion. So he's doing pretty well. He's doing pretty well. So I want to kind of talk about Jeff Bezos right now for a second here. And, kind of his story. So the very first thing I actually want to talk about is I sent out this Twitter poll on April 26th because Amazon was doing very well. Tesla was doing very well. And I asked you guys on Twitter, who do you think is the better businessman? And I said, you have the options of Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, or Jeff Bezos. Because those are the four, popular best business people on this planet. And what you guys said was 45% of you said that Warren Buffett was the best business person on this planet. And that's okay. I kind of understood that, and I still do understand that. But what shocked me from April 26th was that only 6% of people thought Jeff Bezos was the best businessman on this planet. And so what I thought was really interesting was today I asked you guys the same question. And just because of the recent news, who do you think is the best businessman? Okay? So remember the old poll, April 26th, Warren Buffett had 45% of the vote. Jeff Bezos had 6%. Elon Musk had 23%. Bill Gates had 26%. All right, so I asked you guys here. Let's do a quick update, actually, because I don't know if this updates or not on its own. So, okay, so now look at this. A little bit more balanced, a little bit more respect for Amazon. Bezos in the lead now with 34% of the vote as of today. Warren Buffett, 33%. Elon Musk, 22%. Bill Gates, 11%. And so what's my opinion on this is, who do I think is the best business person? Well, I think if you look at it over the long term, I like Elon Musk, though, because he started $3 billion companies. Bezos has done $2 billion companies, and one of which is arguably going to become the most valuable company in the world by the end of this year if it keeps going at this trend. So Bezos did Blue Origin and Amazon. Yeah, what was that one? What was that little company there? Amazon. He made those from scratch. And so Elon Musk has done what, Solar City, Tesla, and SpaceX. And so I don't know. In my opinion, all of these guys are to be honest, all of these guys, I would understand if you guys thought all of these were the best business people of their time, because they're all very different. I mean, look at this. Warren Buffett, you know, he's a classical just investor. That's what he's done his whole career. He hasn't really created a lot of companies. He's just invested and fixed a lot of companies. That's what he's done, and that's why he's been one of the richest people on the planet for 30 years now. I guess he's been doing it for 50 or 60 years now, but in terms of being the richest, he's been up there in the last 30 years. Elon Musk, again, he's like that kind of new train, that new technology, that new renewable resources, taking over the car industry, going to space. He's up with all those, like, you know, with the new technology, the new renewable, you know, cool technology. Bill Gates is Bill Gates. He did it through software and obviously everything that Microsoft has done. So he's completely on his own category. And Jeff Bezos, he's an e-commerce giant. And so he's kind of connected the world through an e-commerce marketplace. So all of these guys have done it in completely different ways. And I understand. I understand wherever your vote may go. All of these people could be the greatest business person of my time. Now, they still have a little bit of ways to go to catch up to, like, the Vanderbilts and the John D. Rockefellers, who would have had net worths of, you know, hundreds of billions of dollars today. But all in all, I mean, these guys are still doing pretty good. They're all pretty good businessmen. All right, so I just wanted to mention just a few more things on Jeff Bezos here, because it's Jeff Bezos Day. That's what it is today. So what are his companies? Well, Amazon, obviously, Blue Origin. So a lot of people don't really realize he bought the Washington Post in 2013. So Trump's been ripping on him for that. Trump's been saying the Amazon Washington Post, right? So Bezos bought the Washington Post for $250 million in cash. Apparently, this was on a handshake and verbal agreement because the owner of the Washington Post was really respected and all that stuff. And I heard a story about that recently, and that was really cool. They didn't, you know, really sign too many contracts, and it was just a verbal agreement to start off with. Obviously, they had to sign contracts later, but, you know, it's always cool to see hear those stories like Bill Murray. Bill Murray doesn't sign movie contracts. He's just like, yeah, let's just shake the hand here, and, you know, we're gonna do it. That's our contract. It's a verbal, you know, contract. We're gonna do this for each other, and we're gonna execute this agreement without it being on paper. So, anyways, the Washington Post. Bezos, he bought that in 2013. Other investments. So something that people don't really realize is that, I think I've talked about this once before, was that he invested $250,000 in 1998 in a company called Google. He bought 3.3 million shares, which would be worth $3.1 billion today in Google. I don't know if he still owns those shares or not. He might, but he's a large shareholder in Google. He owns, I guess that would be 3.3 billion. That's about 0.5% of the company, roughly, or 0.75% of the company. So he owns a little bit of Google. And look at all these other investments he's made here. Airbnb, I mean, obviously Blue Origin, Business Insider. I said Google already. Let's see, any other big names here? MakerBot, so the 3D printers from Print the Legend. That's a great movie. Go watch that, by the way. Print the Legend on Netflix. Great movie. It shows you what happens from when you start a tech company over the course of the next 6 years. Cameras kind of follow these people over 4, 5, 6 years, and it shows you how to build a company and what it's like to grow that fast. So Bezos also invested in Uber and Twitter. Oh, by the way, we're going to get to Twitter in a second here. Twitter did not have a good day, so we're going to talk about that in a second here. But again, just, you know, Bezos, It's really cool. I mean, look at this. I brought up his profile here on Forbes. You know, self-made billionaire, self-made richest person on earth right now. He wasn't even really on the radar up until about 10 years ago for being one of the richest people on the planet. So he's done this pretty fast. I think that it says, oh yeah, I was going to mention this. He said this in a talk. Amazon is the fastest company ever to reach 100 billion in annual sales, which it cleared in 2015. So it's one of the fastest growing companies on the planet. And as you guys know, they've taken over so many other companies just in the last month alone. They're growing so fast. They're taking over the entire world, people. And so that's why I want to jump into this e-commerce marketplace business here so that I can get a little bit of a piece of the pie. So we're going to take a look here at the Amazon stock. Then we're going to move on. So Amazon, why he became the richest person on earth, just for a few minutes today. I mean, the stock was up, I think, 2% at its peak today. If you include, you know, I guess before 10 o'clock. I don't know. Google stock is usually not too good at tracking that. But it showed that the stock was up about 2% today. And then it's dropped down to a loss of 0.7%. So he was technically the richest person on the planet for a few minutes today. And he probably will be soon. So look at these Amazon shares here. They jumped up to $1,044 a share. I mean, just look at where this was a month ago. It was $9.53. Remember? Everyone was selling Amazon. Everything was overinflated. No, actually, what would be funny? Look at the PE ratio of Amazon, okay? 196. The PE ratio of Amazon is 196. Now, let's take a look at Bill Gates. So Bill Gates... no, not stock price. Okay. So Bill Gates, second richest person on the planet, still kind of tied with Jeff Bezos right now. The PE ratio for his company is 26. Meaning that if Bill Gates' company was valued somewhat similar to how investors see Amazon, Bill Gates would, have a net worth of what, 400 billion or 500 billion? It wouldn't even be close here. So who knows what's going to happen with Amazon? They are fairly overvalued, but they are the company of the future right now. I mean, it's just, who knows what's going to happen with them, right? Look at 1997. The shares were $1.73 a piece. Oh, and now you would have had a 69,000% gain if you had bought their IPO. Even during the top of the tech bubble, if you had bought at the top of the tech bubble in 99 before Amazon collapsed, you would have still had an 878% return as of today. But this is what scares me here about Amazon here. Let's take a closer look. From 2015 to today, it's gone up 251%. This looks like a giant spike here. I don't like that. However, I mean, they are a company of the future. I do see where they're going. It's just they're so overvalued right now. I think it's largely because they're so, like, I talk about them, it seems every other day or every 2 or 3 days, Amazon does something big. And so investors get all happy and excited to invest in them because they're going to take over the future. It's kind of true. It's just they're so overvalued right now. They're still making billions in profits, but they're just really overvalued at this current second here. So we're going to see what happens with them. I don't know if there's any sort of bubble in the tech market. I've said this before. We'll see what happens, but if there is, Amazon would get hurt a lot, and Jeff Bezos would no longer be the richest person on the planet here. So we're going to talk about actually Twitter next. Twitter had some big news. So Twitter lost 2 million users in the US in the last quarter, which is not good. You guys know that I rip on Snapchat for only having gains of 1 million users. Now, Twitter has more users than Snapchat, I believe, by a substantial portion. How many users does Twitter have? I think it's somewhere around 500 million, right? 500 million, 200 million, somewhere around there. I don't know. So, but Twitter, they lost 2 million users in the last quarter here. So we can pull up their stock. I believe this is the stock here. No, that is Verizon. We're going to talk about that in a second. Twitter down 14% after this news came out. 14% because of and look, I understand it. The user growth is stagnant and they can't find a way to monetize their platform. I get it. I get why the stock's down 14% as of today. But I mean, it's these tech companies I look at, and if you had bought their IPO at $41, you would have lost 59% on your money. If you bought them shortly after their IPO at $69, you would have lost 75% of your money. And they're going downhill. They need to find a way to monetize. I don't necessarily know if, see, Twitter's a little bit different than Snapchat because I think that Snapchat does need to focus on user growth because Instagram's a similar platform now and even a better platform. Twitter's its own thing. Twitter has, however many users, 500 million users, let's just say. They just need to figure out a way to monetize it a little bit better. That's all. I'm not too worried about the user growth whatsoever because, 2 million of, a large number, who really cares about that too much? I mean, who cares about, they just really need to focus on finding ways to actually monetize their current users because they are a fairly massive platform here. No, we can actually check here. So Twitter users. Twitter users, how many are there? 328 million, looks like, active. 328 million active users. Okay, so they just need to find a way to monetize that, guys, and that would solve their problem. I don't know how you do it. This is what I've been saying for months now, is just you have to find a way to monetize your current platform a little bit better so that you can actually, be cash flow positive, have some good earnings. So that was the big Twitter news today. So we're going to talk a little bit about Facebook, and then we're going to move on to the more stock market winners and losers, although Twitter was a big loser here. So Facebook absolutely demolished earnings here. So they were up 7% today, although currently they're up about 3%, about 2.9% as of this current second. So they brought in 9.3 billion in revenue last quarter. Its reported earnings were $1.32 compared to an estimated $1.13 per share. Sorry, I should say per share. And so they demolished their earnings estimates. Their stock shot up. And you know what? I was kind of looking at this. So Mark Zuckerberg is the 5th richest person on the planet technically right now in terms of net worth. And Facebook, I believe, crossed the $500 billion market cap, which I think that in the world there's only like 10 or 20 of those companies right now. So this is absolutely amazing. 1.3 billion daily active users and 2 billion users period. That's absolutely, and they're still growing. For such a massive platform, they're still growing, guys. And so this is why Facebook is the titan of social media, because they can do a little bit of everything. Here's also an interesting tidbit I found from this article, was that Instagram brought in $3.92 billion in global revenue so far in or it's estimated that they will do that much in 2017, which is a 106% jump over the year before. So this is kind of, I think Facebook bought Instagram a couple of years ago. And since they've taken it over, I mean, Instagram's revenue with Instagram ads, it's gone through the roof. Facebook really knows how to monetize. Now, if other apps like Twitter and Snapchat could actually learn how to do that, they could be somewhere, around Facebook in terms of being a valuable platform. But as of this current second, Facebook is the titan of the social media world, and everyone knows that. So let's move on to the next topic, stock market winners and losers. So let's just start off with CA Technologies. I believe that they just had bad earnings today. As of this, I think that's what happened. So they're down 9.81%, although this didn't update. So I think they're 10.32%. So CA Technologies down to 10.32%. We talked about Twitter, obviously. Facebook up. Yeah, so Facebook's up 3.65%. They should be only up 2.8%. I believe. I'm getting conflicting reports here. Let's see if this thing can update for me. 2.83%. There we go. And so Verizon. So Verizon here has had a pretty big day, up 7.61%. I think this will update to be a little bit lower based on my phone. 7.32%. Okay, so they've had a really big day. A good look at this. I was just talking about them, right? And AT&T, how their dividends really so high, and look at them over the long term here. Oh, I guess Verizon. Oh, is this going to extend here? Nope. Okay. There's the max. This is what I'm looking for here. So Verizon, again, over time, apart from the tech bubble, they've been a fairly good company in terms of growth. Same with AT&T, and they pay a 4.8% dividend. So this is a solid company, a solid stock. I'm sure that they have great earnings. $126 billion in revenue in 2016, so they're good. O'Reilly Automotive, I wanted to talk about them because everyone remembers me talking about them. That entire auto manufacturing parts sector took one of the worst hits we've ever seen on this show. They dropped 18% in one day and 21% over 3 days here, 4 days. And so they actually had a good day today. Again, earnings here, they climbed 10%. And so they jumped up 7% as of this current second here. So they had a really good day. I'm glad to see that. So we're going to move on here to the last one, automatic data processing. Up 11.61%. Again, this should update, and it should be slightly lower than that. 10.22%. So they've had a good day today. Let's see here. 10.22%. Bill Ackman, he's the guy who did the Herbalife. He's taking on Herbalife, right? How did that turn out, by the way? I want to look at that for a second, actually, and then we'll close it out like that. Herbalife and Bill Ackman. Herbalife stock is a blow to... Oh, so Herbalife has gone way up. Oh yeah, I guess we could just check in on Herbalife stock. So those of you that don't know the story of Bill Ackman and Herbalife, Bill Ackman has been shorting this stock for a long time, and he's a big, whatever, however billion dollar or whatever he's worth, really rich investor, and he's been shorting them for a long time, saying that they're a pyramid scheme, and he's been trying to short their stock and put them out of business because he also has a financial interest in that. And it looks like it hasn't turned out well for Bill Ackman. So I think that the movie came out sometime around 2015, 2016. So the stock climbed a lot, I believe, during that time. And then it took a dip here, late 2016. Now it's back up. So I don't know. That's a really interesting company. Go check out that Herbalife movie on Netflix. It's really interesting. What do you guys think of them? Are they just a multi-level marketing company, or are they a pyramid scheme? They're really close. Technically, they're multi-level marketing, but like 99% of their income or something like that is allegedly because of, selling people on selling stuff. You know how the pyramid scheme works? So multi-level marketing is, you sign up, you have to pay whatever, $1,000 up front plus for $1,000 of inventory to sell a Herbalife product. and and then you try to sell that $1,000 worth of product for $3,000 or whatever that may be. However, you can also sign up other people for $1,000, and that's how they actually make their money. So for example, you pay $1,000 to get into this industry, and then instead of selling the product, your main way of trying to make money is trying to get 3 or 4 or 5 other people to sign up under you. So you try and get a bunch of other people to sign up under you, so you make $5,000 that way. Does that make any sense? That's kind of a pyramid scheme, but yeah, anyways, Herbalife, they've been doing okay, so Bill Ackman must not be a happy camper. I think that's going to wrap this video up. So what do you guys think of all this? Leave a comment down below. Who do you think is the best businessman here? Let's see if this is actually updated here. I think we had 27 votes. Now only at 28 votes. Let's see if we can refresh here. Who do you think is the best businessman? Seriously, leave a comment down below. Is it Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg? Who? Leave a comment down below. So I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Make sure to check out my stock market program in the link down below, along with the Wealth Accelerator if you want to check out stuff that I'm investing in, behind the scenes stuff, teach you how to run a side business, things along those lines. So thank you very much for watching. You're all very beautiful people, and I'll see you guys in the next video.